Number 1. Somi's outfits at Golden Disc Awards 2022. While lots of people, especially fans, were happy to see Somi solo gaining momentum and she herself gaining more confidence to perform on such a huge event like the Golden Disc Awards 2022, many were also let down after seeing her enter the show with a costume that could hardly be any more confusing. Instead of opting for fits that could perfectly show off the admirable figure that Somi had spent months getting hitting the gym, the stylist suddenly made her appear in the most conservative and dated dress on earth. As some netizens commented, the dress of Somi made them think the event took place in 2007, rather than 2021, since the turtleneck design combined with the puffy ruffle in the slate blue were just too cheesy and outdated. As if that wasn't bad enough, because such a combination alone was already enough for some netizens to call this funny design a walking egg, the stylist somehow didn't cut the irrelevant dangling drawstring at the brink of the dress, and didn't even bother to hide the huge knot of that string. However, because the person wearing this funny design is Somi, whose both visual and figure were extremely stunning, most people still believe that she had saved the overall look from becoming a red carpet fashion disaster. Plus, Somi's face was super small and so were her legs. The uncannily puffy dress looked way less suffocating and more like an experimental high fashion design. By that, it means similar to how many models wear the most exotic designs to the runway, but people still call them high fashion thanks to the model's figure, this egg dress also looked like a legit red carpet outfit of the famous star, just because it was worn by Somi, but not an ordinary person with an ordinary physique. It was also lucky that the Cordies weren't totally out of their mind, because, probably in an attempt to balance the oddness of the purple egg dress, they gave Somi a quite delicate hairstyle, and also kept the amount of accessories to the minimum to not confuse people's eyes. Besides, her makeup was also done in a natural style, with a light eye palette and coral pink lipstick. Besides the red carpet costume, Somi's performing outfits also attracted lots of mixed opinions, most of which were not so good to be honest. Because, according to many people, her stage costumes lacked so much authenticity, despite the fact that she could slay lots of experimental design thanks to the superb figure. Quite a handful of annoyed netizens talked about how Somi's image reminded them a lot of Rosé and Lisa, rather than herself. Some noticed the stylist put on Somi the makeup and hairstyle that made the reputation of Rosé in the early days, especially in Blackpink's 2020 World Tour. When Somi took off the long jacket and the outer dress to reveal the main fit of the performance, lots of netizens found it quite annoying as to how Somi's stylist had seemingly made the knockoff version of the legendary gem fit on Lisa at Coachella 2019. According to some, this fit also made her look chubbier than she actually is because of its poor form. In fact, the unwise cutouts also played a role in downgrading Somi's image, because it made Somi wear inside another layer of safety garments, which ended up adding unnecessary weight to her, despite having among the best figures in K-pop. After seeing so many references to Blackpink, from Jennie in the hit XOXO to the signature image of Rosé and Lisa on Golden Disc Award 2022, many blinks have voiced their disturbance and blamed the Black label for the cheap media play, which very likely made Somi lose all her individuality at the end of the road. Number 2. Haikey's debut outfits. Besides Kepler, the K-pop industry also welcomed another potential act to the race, Haikey. Unfortunately, instead of having all eyes on them for the talents, the songs, or the visuals, the group just got everyone questioning their outfits on their very first public appearance. While most rookie acts would choose the most eye-catching fits for the debut press premiere, the stylist of Haikey just put on the girls some mere gym outfits, and played around with the layering to make it less basic. In fact, people didn't call the outfits basic, but straight up called them dull and boring. Because firstly, the biker shorts were way too 2020, and secondly, the girls had no accessories or anything to highlight the outfits. Though they were there to perform as 4 idols rather than to instruct people to do some cardio. Though most of the designs Haikey were wearing came from the most renowned fashion houses, some still said the group was the solid epitome of how wearing designer clothes wouldn't automatically help you have a high fashion look. Apart from the criticism targeting the group's questionable outfits, there were also opinions expressing their regret as to how Grand Line Group had failed to make Somi, who was also an ex-trainee from YG Entertainment, stand out because, visual-wise, she had a really strong luxury vibe of Yu Rachel from the famous K-drama The Heirs. Besides, a netizen also expressed that she felt super cringy for Yell, because the white biker shorts of hers were said to attract too much unnecessary attention to her private area while she danced. Number 3. Karina's pink puffy top. Most recently, when the girls performed at MBC, everyone was stunned by how aespa just got better and better every time, despite the packed schedule and the tiring choreography of Savage. The thing is, While aespa has been receiving lots of compliments for their style upgrade during the promotion, netizens just couldn't get over how the outfits that night of the group, especially Karina, were kinda too weird to comprehend. As Karina has a petite but curvy figure with a noticeable bust measurement, some noticed the group stylists have been trying hard to not make it stand out too much due to the public preference for a naive image. Though the team did great several times before, many people said their attempt to desperately hide her chest failed miserably this time because the pink puffy top just wasn't it. While her outfit started to garner more attention online, lots of people flocked in and made a bunch of hilarious comparisons about her pink padded top. While some compared it to an uncooked chicken, a Patrick star, and a knockoff Barbie protective riot gear, others whose imaginations flew higher compared it to an alien parasite latched onto Karina's chest, a hunk of Zerg creep, and even a lung that was hung on Karina's bust. Though it's true that a noticeable bust measurement is a bit hard to handle in a conservative environment like the K-pop industry, people believe the Cordies of aespa were just not working hard enough to compensate for the inexperienced. As considering the case of Twice's Jihyo, the stylists have been dealing with her outfits and figure well throughout many promotions. Number 4. Oh My Girl's outfits at 2021 Golden Disc Award. Turning back to exactly 1 year ago, also with the Golden Disc Award, there was, coincidentally, another set of questionable outfits. But the victim here was Oh My Girl. Their costumes were so weird that right after the show ended, the girls immediately made headlines on a handful of outlets for all the bad reasons. Netizens also couldn't stop questioning how the stylists had the guts to dress the girls so mindlessly like that, and how they only had one job but still didn't understand the assignment. According to them, the Cordy failed miserably in dressing Oh My Girl as a group, because not only the color palette was incoherent, but the choice of materials among the members was also painfully messy. While most of the members were dressed in black, Seongki and Aaron were made to wear brighter fits out of nowhere. The dress of Seongki awkwardly stood out because, compared to the rest of the group, who was dressing in spaghetti plain dresses, she was made to have a puffy design with a bunch of ruffles. In the case of Aaron, probably in the try-hard attempt to promote her naive first love image, the Cordies just turned the blind eye on the mutual theme of the group's outfit, which was black and lace, and put on her a long dress made out of rayon fabric. As if the ruffle sleeves didn't look dated and suffocating enough, the dress even had a bunch of gems attached around the neck, which was very likely attached to the design at the last minute to make it less revealing, and more appropriate to the conservative nature of many K-netizens. In fact, netizens believe the other 5 members' outfits were also just as bad, but the reason they weren't specifically called out was they still had the black color and see-through elements in common, for everyone to know they were at Golden Disc Awards as a group. So do you think these designs are unique or bizarre? And what other designs do you think should also be on this list? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.